We are back in London and sitting on a bench in the middle of a place that is less peaceful than Whitstable. We are back in London. I think you can hear the cars, I guess. People running. I'm in Hyde Park, in the middle of the city. What is left probably of a big forest and now surrounded by a concrete jungle made of greedy capitalistic businesses and empty buildings where flats are kept empty as an investment or as a money laundry, where people cannot find a house because there is not an housing crisis in London. There is only a greedy, selfish crisis. But I'm not here to talk about this. I would love. I'm really pissed off with the situation in London, but the video is a more spiritual, so I'm not gonna lower the energy of everybody complaining about what we already know very well, or at least some of us. No, the video is about something that I shared on my blog again yesterday, and something from when I actually started the blog, and it was about a visit in Bournemouth. So that's visit in Bournemouth, that is a beautiful seaside town with sandy beaches in England, was inspired by a story I read of near-death experience that was set in 1920, I think. So the story was told by, I think, late and someone related to the main character, if I remember. But the story was basically when the event took place. It took place in Bournemouth. So this near-death experience, it's a bit like, I would say, the story. It's quite unique because it's not the person that had it that's telling this, basically their experience, but it's about like a writer that was being contacted by the spirit of this dead person and channeling this soul. He writes it's the soul thoughts and feeling. So literally what happened is about this man, that a teacher that during the First World War, that as we know are wars created by the elites to maintain power and control and letting millions of people die. That's what wars are, and the First World War was one of them. So this teacher goes to the war and he dies during the war fighting. So it's a lost soul, is unable to leave this earthly frequency, and he gets stuck in a sort of limbo where he can't obviously reach anyone, and where he feel to be completely alone. What's happening is this loneliness and this lack of ability to get in touch with the people that are still alive is due to the fact that he is still in a very lower frequency, and that's what basically won't allow him to seeing all the other souls that like him are still retaining their consciousness in another frequency. So only after a long time he is able to realize this, and the moment he realized that he's not alone, his frequency changed, and slowly he started to realize that he's not alone. There are others like him. And then finally he got a visit, and it's his brother that died a long time before, that tells him that they tried to reach him, but they couldn't, because his self-inflicted lower frequency wouldn't allow him and anybody else from higher frequency to be in touch or try to contact him. Now, it's a fascinating fact, because this is it's based on my experiences. So I never had a near-death experience, but I had experience where, when I was able to elevate my frequency, I had the opportunity to be in touch with, we can call it entity, but that basically are souls that are to another frequency. They're just not in their body. They're just energy. And when I've been able to elevate my frequency, I could be in touch, not with conversations, but with like messages or voices, or like with things moving around. So I know that it is about energies. I mean, there've been times where in a really deep meditation I could hear voices, and I could have visions, images showing within my third eye, and I would receive messages and voices. Like, I remember one was quite strong, where I remember I was in a very deep meditation at the time. I was living in Fulham Sands, and this voice, loud, tells me morning, like to tell me something that would happen in the morning. But it was so close to me. It was like literally, well, I describe it in the past as a like breath on my cheek. But if you are not in your body any longer, you can't really say it's a breath. Maybe it was like a moving energy, but it literally was there. And this is just one episode, so it happened many other times. But again, that happened only when the frequency was higher. When my frequency is low, it really, you have this feeling of being alone, of hopelessness, but mostly like this feeling where you feel really left behind, like you have this loneliness feeling, even if you have like a lot of people that cares about you around you, because it's your lower energy that gives you, like, it basically keeps you in like a sort of like a self-inflicted trap. And there's even the reason why all the news are made to keep us to that lower energy, and then we can come out of it. But we need to find a way. We need to find the right informations, and not everybody has the right circumstances to reach this understanding. That is why those videos, and like many like me, is doing the same to bring awareness and bringing more information into the plate. So now, to get back to the story. And finally he is able to reach other souls like him, and that's when his new learning journey starts, because apparently, according to the people that had near-death experiences, they claim, a lot of them claim that when they are on the other side, the learning journey still going, is just different the way that is done without a body, and their whole character tells us that he's like daily going some like sort of school where he recall all the past life, what he did right, what he did wrong, learning how to control his mind. So it seems like there is another type of learning. So once he's capable to to reach this other state, he get in touch with a writer that is more in tune, with this higher frequency. This is a writer that, being on a higher frequency level, it's capable to, channel souls that try to contact him. So he decided to get in touch with this man, this writer, to tell his story, and he tells his story, from when he was in his human body, since then, when being just a spirit, just a soul, is through these different learning. And that's how we got this information, because we have it through written and like a written documents that I guess again, now I don't remember where, because it was like I wrote about this in 2017, but I guess that probably maybe the grandson of the writer found the documents, or maybe someone related to that person, maybe no, I can't remember, but anyway, we got these papers, and that's how were shared, in this case through a very useful website called andy.org, where basically collect all the stories of people that had one and wants to share it, so to basically give like the opportunity to others to realize that they're not the only one to went through something like that, and for people that maybe are trying to understand more about life, can have some like the stories of of people that have been in the other side. So it's a very useful website. It collects hundreds and hundreds of the stories. So the story of this guy, it's, I think, as I said, in Bournemouth, and that's the reason why I first wanted to go and visit the town anyway, and then it was like I wanted to have this day trip, and there was a perfect excuse, like the story, and maybe like who knows, maybe the opportunity to end up somewhere connected to the main character. So I started to get some information, reading about Bournemouth too, and it turns out that I think it was like one of the main, like someone important in town. I can't remember now if it's a politician or just someone very well known in the town, is actually has the same name of the guy we've been talking about today. I think his name is like Downing, something like, my pronunciation is probably wrong, but it's like Downing something. and obviously we don't know. I didn't obviously try to find out, but they might be related to him. So anyway, the trip was good. Bournemouth is a really nice town, lovely. The city central is really nice, ancient. The sandy beaches is one of the few sandy beaches you have in UK, because mostly are pebbles, rocks, and it's just a nice part of the world. So regarding you want to go because you listen to this video, watch this video, or maybe you came across the story of this near-death experience, witnesses. Well, it's worth it to go and spend a day or two, or even more. I mean, there is a lot of things to do, a lot of things around to visit. So I highly recommend. Have a nice day, everybody, and talk to you soon.